good day everyone. I am Princess Malu Bustillo together with my members Ginicel Umpok and Rachel Dilaganar. We are here to discuss about the Philippine environmental law. First is I will discuss what is environmental law based on 1987 Constitution. The 1987 Constitution spells out our national policy on the protection of our environment in a lot of ways. The present provisions in our fundamental law are more forward-looking than our 1973 and 1935 constitutions. The 1987 Constitution cemented the Philippines' commitment to strike a delicate balance between the demands of economics and the needs of the environment. But it offers more. For the first time, the right of the person to a balanced and healthful ecology was recognized not only as an abstract policy statement, but an enforceable legal right under Section 16, Article 2. So the 1987 Constitution broke ground when it proclaimed in Section 16 of Article 2 the Declaration of Principles and State Policies. The following landmark provisions state that the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. The environment occupies pride of place in the fundamental law of the land, and we, the people, must defend it and ensure that it is truly honored. The next topic is the 3 R's of waste management. The first R of the 3 R's of waste management is reduce. Reduce is if there is less waste, then there is less to recycle or reuse. Or using multi-use items is essential to beginning reduction. So reduce means to cut back on the amount of trash we generate. In other words, reduce helps in something that reduce means to cut back on the amount of trash we generate. In other words, reduce helps in something that we need to do in order to lessen the amount of trash. How? By using multi-use items, as I have mentioned earlier. Let's tackle about some things that will help you to cooperate in reduction process. So here are some things you can do to reduce the waste. First is print on both sides of the paper to reduce paper wastage. In number 1, it says that do not throw away the used print paper, as you can use the other side of it if possible to help reduce paper wasted. So the next is use electronic mail to reach out to people instead of sending paper mail. Instead of sending paper mail to reach out people, you can use electronic mail in order to reduce the hassle of sending mail, as well as in order to reduce waste of paper that will be used in sending mail. So the next things that you can do to reduce the waste is remove your name from the mailing list that you no longer want to receive. So if you no longer using paper mail, remove your name so that you will no longer receive paper mail and convert it into using electronic mail. So the next is use cloth napkins instead of paper napkins. Cloth napkins can be reused again. You just have to wash it. While the paper napkins, they are disposable. After you used it, it will be going to trash. It will be add to the problem of waste management if ever that trash will not be thrown properly. So the next is to avoid using disposable plates, spoons, glass, cups, and napkins. They add to the problem and result in large amount of waste. Disposable are the biggest problem in waste management, as people use it every day and it will be thrown somewhere. It also the reason of blocking the drainage in every street resulted to overflowing of canals if there would be heavy rain. So the next is avoid buying items that are overpacked with foil, paper, and plastics. This excess packaging goes to waste. Do not buy those items that are overpacked because it will only goes to waste after you open or use that item, or after you buy that item and after you used it, you just the um the the packaging will going to trash, as that packaging is no longer to be recycled because it was just a disposable. So the next one is buy durable goods that have long warranty. They generally run longer and save landfill space. Buy durable goods or those things that have long warranty, so that they will be they will be they will not be thrown away easily, and it also save money and save our landfill space. So that's all for the some things that you can do to reduce the waste. The next R is reuse. You may take a box of things you keep that are broken or that you don't have a use for, that you hang on to in case you find another use for them. Or you may find bargains on old furniture or go trash picking and get things that you can refinish. In either case, are working towards reusing the item. Learning to reuse items or repurpose them for a use different than what they are intended for is essential in waste hierarchy. Reuse is the action of practice of using an item, whether for its original purpose or to fulfill a different function. It should be distinguished from recycling, which is the breaking down of used items to make raw materials for the manufacture of new products. You may either use those items for your own use or donate so that others can use them. You can you can reuse below items like an old jars and pots. Old jars and pots can be used to store items in kitchen. They can also be used to store loose items together, such as computer wires. Next is tires. Old tires can either be sent to recycling station or can be used to make tires swing. Third is used wood. Used wood can be used as firewood or can be used woodcrafts. Four is newspaper. Old newspapers can be used to pack items which when you're planning to move to another home or stored old items. Five is envelopes. Old and waste envelopes can be used by children to make short notes. So the next is waste paper. Waste paper can be used to make notes and sketches and can be sent to recycling center when you don't need them anymore. 7 items that can be donated to others include old books. Your old books can be used by poor children or can be donated to public libraries. Next is old clothes. Your unwanted clothes can be used by street children or can be donated to charity institutions. 9. Old electric equipment. Old electric equipment can be donated to schools or NGOs so that they can use them. 10. Rechargeable batteries. Rechargeable batteries can be used again and again and helps to reduce unnecessary wastage as opposed to regular batteries. So the next R is recycle. Recycle is the last stage of the waste hierarchy. To recycle something means that it will be transformed again into a raw material that can be shaped into a new item. There are very few materials on the earth that cannot be recycled. One of the issues facing communities that want to become more involved with are recycling. Recycling is a recovery and processing of waste materials for use in new products. The more we recycle, the less garbage ends up in our landfills and incineration plants. One need to learn as to what products can be recycled and what not. By carefully choosing the products that can be recycled can be a first step towards efficient recycling. First is buy products from market that are made up of recycled materials. For example, the product should be environment friendly. Second, buy products that can be recycled such as glass jars. Third, invite new ways to recycle different items. Next is avoid buying hazardous materials that could pose difficulty for you to recycle. Buy non-toxic products whenever possible. 5. Buy products that have been made from recycled material. 6. Use recycled paper for printing or making paper handicrafts.
Good day, sir. By the way, I am Ginicel M. Ompok, and I will going to report the Republic Act 9, number 9003. This act shall be known as the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2002. Republic Act 9003 declares the policy of the state in adopting a systematic, comprehensive, and ecological solid waste management program that ensures the protection of public health and the environment and the proper segregation, collection, transport, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste. So let's proceed to the policies of this act. A. Ensure the protection of public health and environment. B. Utilize environmentally sound methods that maximize the utilization of valuable resources and encourage resources conservation and recovery. C. Set guidelines and targets for solid waste avoidance and volume reduction through source reduction and waste minimization measures, including composting, recycling, reuse, recovery, green charcoal process, and others. Before collection, treatment, and disposal in appropriate and environmentally sound solid waste management facilities in accordance with ecologically sustainable development principles. D. Ensure the proper segregation, collection, transport, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adoption of the best environmental practices in ecological waste management excluding incineration. E. National research and development programs for improved solid waste management and resource conservation techniques, more effective institutional arrangement and indigenous and improved methods of waste reduction, collection, separation, and recovery. F. Encourage greater private sector participation in solid waste management. G. Retain primary enforcement and responsibility of solid waste management with local government units while establishing a cooperative effort among the national government, other logical other local government units, non-government organizations, and the private sector. H. Encourage cooperation and self-regulation among waste generators through the application of market-based instruments. I. Institutionalize public participation in the development and implementation of national and local integrated, comprehensive and ecological waste management programs. And J. Strengthen the integration of ecological waste, solid waste management, and resource conservation and recovery topics into the academic curricular of formal and non-formal education in order to promote environmental awareness and action among citizenry. So let's go now to the purpose of National Solid Waste Management Commission. There is hereby established a National Solid Waste Management Commission, hereinafter referred to as the Commission under the Office of the President. The Commission shall be composed of 14 members from the government sector and 3 members from the private sector. The Commission may, from time to time, call on any other concerned agencies or sectors as it may deem necessary, provided that representatives from NGOs, recycling and manufacturing, or packaging industries shall be nominated through a process designed by themselves and shall be appointed by the President for a term of 3 years, meaning to say that the National Waste Management Commission is the major agency tasked to implement Republic Act number 9003. They calls for the institutionalization of a national program that will manage the control, transfer, transport, processing, and disposal of solid waste in the country. Provided further that the provided further that the secretaries of the member agencies of the Commission shall formulate action plans for the respective agencies to complement the National Solid Waste Management Framework. The Department of Secretary and the private sector representative of the Commission shall serve as a chairman and vice chairman, respectively. The private sector representatives of the Commission shall be appointed on the basis of their integrity, high degree of professionalism, and having distinguished themselves in environmental and resource management. The Commission shall oversee the implementation of solid waste management plans and prescribe policies to achieve the objectives of this Act. So the purpose of National Solid Waste Management Commission is reducing and eliminating adverse impacts of waste materials on human health and the environment to support the economic development and superior quality of life. This is to be done in the most efficient manner possible to keep costs low and prevent waste buildup.
Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. I'm Rochelle Diagonar, and I will start to discuss the 5 immediate concerns that should be addressed for the protection of the environment, cultural properties, and natural resources. Forest protection statistic from the Bureau of the Forest Development maintain that 11.1 million hectares of forest land are still covered with timber. A satellite data and survey conducted by the quarters reveal an considerably smaller figure. Ang mga estadistika gikan sa Bureau of Forest Development nagmintinar nga 11.1 milyon ka hektarya nga yuta sa kalasangan gitabunan gihapon sa mga truso. Satellite data og mga survey nga gihimo sa ubang quarters nagpakita nga mas gamay nga mga numero. And the second, protection of fisheries, marine life, and aquatic resources. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources claim its inability to stop illegal fishing and harvest of coral has been hampered by lack of finance. Ang kakulangan sa kaibalo sa publiko o kooperasyon sa mga butang nga adunay kalabutan sa konserbasyon o sa pangababag sa mga paningkamot aron maluwas ang nagkagamay nga natural nga
kahingwaan sa nasod. 3. Ensuring clean and safe land, air, and water. The continuous alteration of physical, chemical, nuclear, and biological properties of any water, air, and or land resources of the Philippines, or any discharge of the liquid, gas, or solid waste at will has created the rendered harmful, detrimental, or injurious effect of the public health or welfare, and further adversely effect with utilization of domestic, commercial, industrial, agricultural, recreational, or another legitimate purpose. Ang padayon nga pagbago sa physical, chemical, nuclear o biological nga mga kabtangan sa bisan unsang tubig, hangin o yuta ang mga kahingungaan sa Pilipinas o bisan unsay paglabay sa bisan unsang likido, gas, solido nga mga basura kabubuton na nakamugna o nakahatag, nakadaot nga mga epekto sa panglawas o kaayuhan sa publiko o dugang mga maapektar nga ilang paggamit alang sa lokal, commercial, industrial, pang-agricultural nga kalingawan o uban pang lehitimong kayutaan. 4. Preservation of endangered species of other life. The profound impact of man activities on all components of natural environment, particularly the effect of increasing population, resources explosion, industrial advancement, and man ignorance have caused lost our animal and plant resources. Ang lawom nga epekto sa mga kalihukan sa tao sa tanan nga sangkap sa natural nga palibot, labi ng epekto sa pagtaas sa populasyon, pagpahimulos, kahinguaan, pag-uswag sa industriya, pagkawalay, alamak sa taong hinungdan sa grabe nga pagkawala sa atong mga kahinguaan sa hayop o tanom. Protection of the cultural properties. The Philippines has a unique and rich cultural heritage. Evidence of this in the form of accent cross, a central home, natural and man-made, and the treasure contained within them and are spread out throughout this land. Ang Pilipinas adunay talagsaon ug adunahan nga kultural nga kabilin. Ang mga ebidensya niini sa dagway nga karaan nga simbahan, mga balay sa katigulangan, natural o hinimo sa tao nga mga talan-awon o mga bahandi nga naanan sunod niini kay mikayak sa tibuok isla. And that's all. Thank you.